Now then, let's take a much closer look now at the Xero Half Bag. The Xero Half Bag is the warmest of the half bags we make by some margin. It's an expedition grade half bag really. The advantages of half bags of course is that you can save on weight and pack down size by just using a half bag as the lower insulation part of a sleep system and then using a down expedition grade jacket as the top half of a sleep system. Half bags of course were very much used as a bivvy bag for unplanned bivvies or as a bivvy bag on a halfway up a summit and so on. But some people are using bivvy bags purely for camping as a replacement to a sleeping bag. These conditions of course are very extreme, so you need careful planning. The two temperature ratings we've got here are the camp temperature, the night where you're expected to get a good night's warm sleep camping in, and where you would use it to replace a sleeping bag is -30 degrees C. And the bivvy temperature here, where you're expected to get enough warm for a fairly reasonable night and in good shape for the following morning. So the bivvy temperature rating is -40, much lower temperature rating of course. So those are the temperature ratings. It's critical of course that not only that you have the half bag of enough warmth for your planned expedition, you've also got to have a warm enough top to your system, so a jacket and mitts and so on, so you're fully protected. Now let's just run through some of the features. It's a half bag, it's designed to come up to the tummy. It cinches on, at the top of the bag cinches around your waist or your midriff, and it has a cord and cord lock system, a very simple system. Simple's best, isn't it, in these situations. It's designed like an expedition sleeping bag. It's a mummy shape really, on the up to your waist there, up to your midriff. It's got a sleeping bag foot box, and it's with box wall construction. Now box wall construction is an elaborate construction. It's where the outer fabric and the inner fabric are held apart by a wall of fabric, and then that chamber, that panel or box wall is filled with down. The sleeping bag has side panels here. Those are sidewall block panels. And they prevent down shifting on that side area, and they're deeply filled with down, so they prevent any cold air along the side. So sidewall panels. And a unique feature of this bag is the extension tube on the top. That's sewn into the inside of the top of the bag here, and it's a shoulder length extension tube. That's designed to really wrap over your clothing and to prevent any cold air coming across you. It's a cocooning effect, helps you sleep better, and helps you feel more snug and secure inside the system. That actually just lives inside. If you don't want the extension chute, if you're not using it, it's just inside the bag. It hangs down on the inside, it's not in your way. But when you want it, it comes up over the shoulders and it seals in your clothing and your mitts, your hands covered in mitts and so on. They're just cocooned inside the system. Now the top of this half bag has a curved top to the around the back of it, and that's designed so that if you're sitting up in the sleeping bag, if you're sitting up in this half bag, then it gives you plenty of coverage around the back, so there's no potential of cold air getting in to the system there. Now let's just talk a little bit about the construction and the materials we've used here. The idea of this system is to gain an advantage in weight saving, isn't it? So we're looking for a very lightweight piece of equipment, and that's had an impact on what we've designed this gear with and what materials we've used. The outer fabric is PHD's Ultra Shell, the inner fabric is PHD's MX fabric. I'll just talk to you about those fabrics. Ultra Shell is a water resistant fabric. It's very lightweight, perfect for sleeping bags, but it's got one extra quality which we really like. It's got waterproof coatings on both sides of the fabric. The outer of the fabric has a DWR coating sprayed onto it. Now that's what creates that beading. If I spilt some water on it now, it would bead and roll off. That's what the DWR coating does. The underside of the fabric has a coating as well, and that's a sprayed on coating, and that's a permanent coating. It can't be rubbed off. So it's a very, very effective piece of treatment to this fabric. What does water resistance give you? Well, it gives you protection to the down in the case of condensation coming off a tent or a tarp, or drips from the roof of a snow hole. Any of those situations where you're getting water or hoarfrost coming, or snow inside the tent and so on, getting onto the bag, protects the down. Now, I'll just talk to you a little bit about the MX. The inside of the bag is made out of PhD's MX fabric. That's a very lightweight, downproof, windproof, lightweight sleeping bag fabric. It's got a superb tear strength. It's almost strong enough to make a parachute out of. So it's absolutely fantastic fabric, but very lightweight, of course. Now, we like lightweight fabrics. We've chosen fabrics that are very, very lightweight here, and that's because the aim is to get a lightweight piece of equipment to carry up the mountain, and something that packs down very small. They go together. The lighter they go, the smaller it packs. But there's an additional advantage with lightweight fabrics, and that is that it allows the down to loft fully. And the more, if you have a heavy fabric, it squashes it and reduces the loft, so you lose insulation effectiveness. If you allow the down to really, really loft, you get more insulation, some more warmth from it. Now, the outer fabric I talked to you about, ultra shell. There is one other fabric that we can use on this. We make our equipment in our own factory here in the UK. We make it all to order for our clients. That's why we're able to offer such a huge range of products with such a huge range of options, because when you choose what you want and how you want it being made, we then go and make it for you. Now, ultra shell is a water resistant fabric, so that's a good choice, and it's very lightweight. We also can make the Xero Half Bag with a dry LX outer fabric. Now, dry LX is it's a waterproof fabric, very, very waterproof, and it's a breathable waterproof laminate, so it's got a laminate coating bonded to it, and that allows us to tape all the seams that we make in the construction of the equipment. So it makes it like it allows us to produce a waterproof shell, very much like a bivvy bag, but it's permanently attached to the half bag. Now, the advantage of dry LX is it gives you this very, very waterproof system. It isn't a fully waterproof system. If you couldn't use it in a huge downpour out in the rain, because water will get in here, won't it? So it's not a fully waterproof system, but the whole bag itself is proofed. The outer of the bag is fully waterproofed. That is useful if you're going into a situation where water is going to get onto the bag regularly. Now, in high altitude, cold places, very unlikely you're going to have a lot of water getting onto the bag. It's too cold, and there isn't a lot of potential there. You might spill a cup of tea on the bag, but ultra shell would shed that anyway. It's not a real problem. But if there is potential of water, for instance, if you were snow holing for a long time, and as you know, when you cook inside a snow hole, the roof starts to drip, doesn't it? So if you're inside a snow cave and you're there for quite a long time, you may consider using dry LX, PhD's dry LX fabric as a shell to the sleeping bag. As I say, it's not the most usual option. The most usual option is to go with ultra shell because it's lighter and it packs down, and the proofing is enough in most situations. But where you've really got potential and concerns of water getting to the bag, then the dry LX shell is worth consideration. Okay, so there we have it. That's a closer look at the PhD Xero Half Bag. Cheers.